Welcome back to MMAOddsBreaker. Today we got Dylan Smith getting ready to fight in Legacy Fighting Championships 45. Coming up here September 11th at the Hard Rock Hotel Casino in Tulsa, Oklahoma, of course. He's fighting Andrew Todhunter. And before we started, we were actually asking, Dylan, what's it like competing against a guy that you know that has pulled out of fights before? And he does it kind of often where he'll pull out of a fight. How do you train for a guy like that, knowing that like you legitimately could be going into this, where nothing happens, there's no fight at the end of the day?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I posted a lot of stuff on Facebook, and I'm not the kind of guy to really run my mouth or anything. And I wouldn't say that I've necessarily run my mouth for this one, but if anytime he sends me something or he says something on Facebook, I'll either share it or I'll just take a picture of it and share it on Facebook, just so it gets that much more attention. And I'm just trying to hold him accountable to show up. Is really what that's. I guess that's what I've done to just kind of keep him feeling accountable that he has to show up, because it just brings that much more attention to the fight. So
it's kind of strange that he pulls out so much, because he is 7-0. He's undefeated. So you would think the guy with that kind of record, that kind of confidence going into fights, I've never been beat before, would want to continue that streak, so he wouldn't miss fights and what have you. To me, it's a little strange that he has pulled out a couple of fights, and that due to injury is the official report. But it's just one of those situations where a guy kind of pulls out, and then you're wondering as a competitor, will he show up night of the fight? You're 10-6, he's 7-0. So you've obviously lost before. You understand what's like to lose, but you also understand, like both of you understand what training camps are like, and in training camps you get hurt, you get injured, things happen.
Sure.
Do you put things in place to keep you from getting hurt or getting cut, especially this late, in training camp?
This late, yesterday we went over to Thomas Longacre's gym, and we had probably 15 of the top guys around Tulsa, and we did 10 5-minute rounds, and we all understand if we have a fight coming up, we don't necessarily take it easy on each other, but we're still sparring like we're getting ready for a fight. They're not out, guys aren't out headhunting, and so that definitely helps. Epsom salt baths keep everything just fresh, and a lot of stretching. My diet is on point. That always helps with muscle recovery and everything like that. So
You mentioned your diet. What's your weight like right now?
My weight right now, I'm waking up around 192, 191, somewhere around there, and I'm actually lighter than what I am. We're doing a catch weight at 178.
Okay.
And so, but I'm actually lighter, and this is probably the leanest I've been. So I feel great. The weight cut's going to be easy. I feel really good going into this one as far as weight and cardio goes.
Now, why the catch weight? Why is there a catch weight for this one?
Man, I don't know. He signed with the UFC as a welterweight, and he wants to fight as a welterweight. But then when it comes down to it, he goes down to Mexico City, tries to make 170, and can't make 170. And then 3 weeks later, he's posting on Facebook, "Oh, I'm trying to fill in." I can't remember what fight was dropped on the next UFC card, and he was trying to fill in for that as a welterweight, saying, "Oh, he can make weight easy, he's on point." But then when we go to fight, I say, well, if you're gonna be a welterweight fighter, we might as well do it 170. And he walks around, he's a heavy guy, probably 206.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
205. And so I said 175. They said no. 176.5. No. So I said, well, I'll fight you at 178.0. There's no weight allowances.
Mm-hmm.
And so he and his manager agreed on that. And so that's what we agreed on. And, I know that weight necessarily isn't, if the fight were to happen at 185, it'd probably be the same outcome, but I really don't think that he has the mental, he doesn't have the mental toughness just to drop that extra 7-8 pounds, So I'd have fought him at 185, but, 170, I'm happy with 178.
Okay, he comes in September 10th. He makes weight, 178. Everything's good to go. What kind of fight are you expecting the night of September 11th?
He's a grinder. I've seen him fight. He's undefeated, but he's fought a lot of guys that, in my opinion, he shouldn't have fought. I've seen a guy who fights at 155, walks around probably 165 maybe. He and Andrew fought at 185, and I saw this guy just in the first 10 seconds come with a straight right and nearly knock Andrew out, and so he's a wrestler. He's a grinder. He's going to try to push the pace, push the takedown, and just grind guys out. And he looks for the submission. He to me he hasn't been in the ring with anybody who is on his level. And so I've been working my takedown defense. Working back to my feet. But if it does go to the ground, my jiu-jitsu is I'll be fine. He's not going to be able to overpower me, anything like that. So wherever it goes, I invite wherever he wants to take the fight. So
where are you training right now? Where's your main training spot right now for this fight?
Triton Fight Center under Pete Wilhelm and Tulsa. It's at Broken Arrow, Tulsa. So
yep, yeah. I know it well.
Yeah.
I know the area well. Yeah. It's a buddy of mine, Brad Penny, used to pitches in the major leagues. He's from Broken Arrow, so I know quite a bit of that area. Of course, went to school at OU, so I know a lot of the guys we had on my wrestling team are from Tulsa, so I spent a lot of time out there. There's been a little bit of a resurgence of fighting. When we first started back in the late 90s, there was a lot of fighting going on, a lot of MMA groups, and it kind of faded away for a while out in Oklahoma. There really wasn't that many spots to go to. Now it seems like there's a lot of spots in Oklahoma City, a lot of spots in Tulsa. Have you noticed in like the last 4 or 5 years? Have you noticed a lot of new gyms popping up, a lot of new MMA spots popping up, and trying to grab the clientele in the areas?
Yeah, and that can be a good thing, and again, that can be a bad thing. There's some legitimate gyms in Tulsa, and I would definitely say that Triton is the top gym. But I may be a little biased, but then again, at the same time you have these gyms. Black belts popping up, right around the corner, and he has no credentials. You never even heard of the guy before, but he's been doing jiu-jitsu and kickboxing since he was 4, and that's so. Like I said, it can be a good and a bad thing. So, but the MMA scene and mixed martial arts, the martial arts scene in Tulsa is so tight. So that I think that keeps everybody honest, around the area, and people know what's going on. And they'll be quick to call you out because there's a few guys right now in Tulsa that just they say they're a jiu-jitsu black belt, and it's they're not, and so unfortunately you have that happening, and it's just for money, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is, man. It's only a matter of time before you get noticed, and
get caught, and then people will start to pay attention, and then you're out. So I get it.
Exactly, man.
Well, Dylan, thanks for coming on here, man. I'm glad you got this fight put together. I'm glad things are coming together for you. This is going to be a good fight. For those watching, you definitely need to go ahead and check out Dylan Smith and Andrew Todhunter. This is going to be a good brawling fight, kind of seeing where both guys are at. And it's a good step for you to be the undefeated guy. Like that's always the biggest one, to be the guy to put that hash mark instead of that 0 in there. It's always nice.
Yeah, without a doubt. And like you mentioned earlier, I was 10-6, and I had I was going to school over in Stillwater, and unfortunately, a lot of the times I take fights, instead of having a job, I just fought professionally. And, man, it's tough going to school and having your friends. You got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're like, come on, man, let's go to the bar. And, well, shoot, we got to fight. But so this time, I've been hitting it hard 5-6 days a week, really staying focused. And so it's going to be a different outcome as what, 10-6. 10-6 to me is, that's not much of a record, but I'll show something else come next Friday. That's for sure.
Good, man.
It was an honor to have the interview. I appreciate you having me.
Of course,
Look forward to everything, man. Thanks a lot.
You got it, man. Take care. Have a great rest of your training camp. We'll speak soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, sir.